Today I'm going to show you an easy, cheap, and quick way to repair your veneer and make it stick again. So it's a very small space you have to put glue in, and in the past it's been very difficult for me to get glue down in there until now. There are these glue syringes, this entire set here, and all of these tips that are different lengths and different sizes that the glue comes out. I got these off Amazon for about $8, and it's one of the best things ever. What you want to do first, before you put the needle on your syringe, you want to put glue in your syringe. You can use any type of wood glue. They all work just fine. So you want to fill up your syringe with the glue by pulling back on the syringe stopper. And then you will have a syringe full of glue. Wipe off the extra. And then these tips, I'm going to use a long one because I'm going way underneath this table. These tips just screw on like that. And so when you squeeze your syringe, you have glue coming out like that. So this is going to allow us to get up underneath this veneer without cracking it and get further than we could using some of the old ways to do this. So I'm going to take a butter knife and lift this up to see how far back I can get and start to dispense glue. If you watch the numbers here, you can see how much glue is coming out. It's not going to come out really fast because it's a syringe, but it will come out fast enough. I want to go back as far as I can on this. So that there's glue all the way back, so all of the top has a support. So I've got my glue all the way underneath, back to here actually, and I got this spot over here too. So when you press it down, if glue comes out through the edges, wipe that off. But after you do this, how you hold this down is really important, because if you don't hold it down right, it's still going to have a wave in it. So if you have clamps, you're in good shape, because you can just clamp it, and that works great. You still might have back here where you want to put some weight there. You can add household items there. Coke, coconut oil, whatever you got, and keep on clamping it all the way around. Now, if you don't have clamps, you don't have to go buy some. I'm going to show you a way to do it without clamps. Same principle. Another way to hold this down is with painter's tape. Painter's tape is best on smaller areas. This is a bit large to be using painter's tape. As you can see there, how it's holding that down. You see how much that's lifted up. I can get it pretty flat. But there is still going to be not nearly as much benefit to clamping it or putting some weight on it. You can see if I leave that corner, it's still lifted up a little bit. This would be better for small spaces, like if you just did something that wide, for instance. It'd be a lot easier to use the painter's tape like that. When you take the painter's tape off, if there's glue coming out, you will leave some of your painter's tape on the glue, so just be ready to do that. That happens. It's not a tragedy. It's pretty easy cleanup. Another way to do this is books. Lots of books. This is not quite heavy enough for that. But you can add other stuff on top of it. weights. And that is pretty good, but it's still got a little bit more space than I would want. Better for a smaller area. This is the whole front of the table. Here's a clamp trick that I absolutely love. If you put a piece of wood down, it's just a scrap piece of wood, across where you're going to put your clamps, you get a lot of added benefit from the clamps, because the clamps now, instead of just pressing down in this space where they are and less as it feathers out, it's going to press more down across this entire surface, because you're making the clamps clamp everything that's under this wood. So it's a much better way to clamp it. You have larger clamps. You see, this is the tightest it's been clamped, and you see the glue coming out. So when you see that, just clean it out. The tighter you clamp it, the more likely you are to see glue. So clean that up as much as you can as you go. That means you've got really good contact under there, which is what you want. The good thing about the bigger clamps like this is that I can clamp these further back. So I can hold this area back here, which is very useful. Do a clamp, this one goes even further back. So I will have a really nice hold on this. Now I'm going to show you how to do some of the smaller parts on veneer. The veneer on this drawer, the whole top edge is coming loose here. So I'm going to do this whole thing. Usually I have to come back and wipe glue. Like after you put the clamp on there, it squeezes out. Come back and wipe it off. See how much these clamps brought the glue out. That's good. That means the glue is good and covered behind there. Okay, I let this dry overnight. You should wait at least 12 hours to let the glue dry really well. And here's what we have. It's down there really well. It's not bubbled up in the back. That looks really good. Let's look at some of the drawers. This drawer, I did 3 corners. Got a little bit of glue coming out right there. Those edges look really good too. These bottom edges look good. This is what I talked about, taping the small areas. All these 4 corners were loose, so I just used the painter's tape on these. So we'll see how that did. Those are nice and flat and secure. Okay, let's see how our drawer turned out. Oh, that's really nice. We got all the glue cleaned off the edges, and there's a nice flat bond between the 2 surfaces. That turned out great. And no loose parts. Awesome. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and check back soon. I'm putting up a whole series of videos this month. Thank you.